Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a new video where today we have exclusive chance to see the all new Audi Q4 e-tron. I have the key here and I will unlock it here, and it greets us with the new matrix LEDs. We do have the dynamic indicators on this car, and this is the first compact SUV electric one, of course, from Audi. So it sits on the MEB platform, a well-known platform. As you can see, we have a, let's say, well-known Audi design language and thumb up for Audi, actually, because this looks very much like the concept car which we saw of course before the official series production model. So let's start with the front. You have the matrix LEDs here, and the LED lights do come as standard. These are the matrix LEDs, dynamic indicators, daytime running LEDs, and the best thing is that right now, for the first time ever, we have the digital lights that have different signatures, so you configure the signature in your infotainment system. I will show you that later on. The name of this color is Geyser Blue, lovely color, and the single frame grille, well known from Audi models, but of course here it is a closed one with this chrome inserts. We have the e-tron lettering, and I do love this aluminum part here, as well as on the bumper itself to make it more robust. Around 18 centimeters is the ground clearance. And now I've actually turned on, so let me just unlock it. I've turned on the side lights, daytime running LEDs, and you see this is the current signature, but of course we will be able to change that as soon as we enter the car in the infotainment system. I will show you that and put an overlay. Very cool feature indeed. And now off to the side profile of this beautiful model. 4 meters 59 is the length of the car, and you can see that we have a very short overhangs and very long wheelbase. 2 meters 76 is the wheelbase, which means generous room inside. I will show you that, of course. The wheels, as I said, very big ones. We have them from 19-inch up to 21-inch, and here you will see the 25-inch. This is the dimension of the tire. It comes with Bridgestone in this case. And the wheels, they look beautiful in my opinion, but have in mind that this is the wheel, and then these are the plastic covers to make it more aerodynamic. And yeah, it's very efficient, but I'm not so sure about those plastic parts. The wheel arches in gloss finish, they really suit the car. It's very elegant. We have the S-Line model to make it a bit more aggressive. You have this side skirts in aluminum. If you go for the quattro version, then you would have the quattro lettering here as well. Let me show you the car from this angle. So the roof rails are standard on this car, and let's talk about the suspension for a moment. So the standard version gets you the standard suspension. If you go for the S-Line, then you get the sport suspension, which sits 15 millimeters lower compared to the standard one. And top of the line option are the adaptive dampers, and then you adjust the ride, and yeah, well, that's the best option, but also the priciest one. At the back, the beautiful design continues with those connected LED lights, and you see that they have the dual color, let's call it like that. This is tinted, this is in standard red. I do love this Audi lettering, or should I say the Audi badge illuminated. Looks very nice. Tinted windows, of course. And let me show you the car from this angle. Of course, no exhaust, electric motor. I do love this e-tron incorporated into this rear bumper, and the massive diffuser sensors. This is your rear view camera, and this is the name of this model. So let's say that this is, let's say, the middle option with 150 kilowatts, and I'll talk more about the batteries and the option later on. But now let's check out the trunk. You can do it like this. So electric tailgate, and now we have 520 liters of storage room, and if you fold the seats you get 1490 liters. You have the dual floor, so look at this. You can put your cables underneath so they don't go all around, and pretty decent amount of room. I do love the square shape. You will fit a lot of things here. LED lights are on both sides, as well as this hooks for your shopping bags. You can fold the seats. You also have the ski hatch So pretty practical car indeed. And there are additional things here, such as the 12-volt power outlet, and yeah, some additional storage room on the sides. I think, you know, this will be a very practical car indeed. And you just press this in order to close it. You can of course open it with the key as well. Let me show you that. This is the key, and when you press this twice, it opens, and now you also saw the dynamic indicators, so quite cool. Let me close it again, show you the car from this angle, and now we are ready to explore the interior. And time to explore the interior. So we have a keyless entry. Just come here and you lock it by pressing this, you see, and we will unlock it again. And here we are greeted with very modern but also a driver oriented and easy to use interior. So I will go through all the settings and information in a moment. Let's start here. This is in leather. This is a nice white stitching, the same one as on this lovely S-line seats. Now these are the buttons, of course, for the windows and for the mirrors, lock and unlock. Buttons to adjust the seat. We have the ambient lights door pocket, pretty solid one, and here is where you can also open the trunk, so 3 ways to do it. The S badge here illuminated, looks very nice. The seats do have the lumbar support and are electric. You see them here, so the same pattern with this white stitching and a nice S badge on the seats themselves. Let's explore the infotainment system and all the options. This is the view here from driver's perspective. In order to start the car, you need to press this start button. It comes to life. In front of us there is a unusual 4-spoke steering wheel. We have the S badge as well. This is in aluminum. Now Audi also has this, let's say, the buttons with haptic feedback, and they are not that bad, actually much better than on the Volkswagen if you ask me. In front of us there is a digital cockpit with different views, and here in the middle you have a nice touchscreen, and this is a rather large one, and it's nice to have it a bit curved towards the driver. Once again, driver-oriented layout here with this interior, and easy to use because look at this. We have the AC on the classic switches. Here is where you would adjust the air blower, and this is where you adjust the temperature. Huge thumb up for Audi for doing this, because it's so much easier to use this than the additional screen that other models have. I think this is the best layout with a modern and big screen, but also the classic switches for the AC. Tell me in your comments what are your thoughts on that. Here is where you have the button for the heated seats. You can turn off the AC by just pressing this. Drive select. This is where you would change the driving modes, so it's rather easy to access it. And we have the efficiency, comfort, auto, dynamic, and individual. So let's see what we can configure here. In this case, we can configure the drive system and the steering, and once again, if you go for the adaptive dampers, then you adjust them as well. So that's the top of the line option for the suspension. Let us now move on. The hazard lights are here. Traction control off. This is the well-known switch from other Audi models. Here is where you would adjust the volume, turn off the radio, for example, and then the change of the tracks is done by just pressing those buttons here. Parking and the support driver assist systems. So of course this car is packed with safety systems. You have the speed warning, adaptive cruise assist, distance warning, lane departure warning, Audi Presense, side assist, exit warning assist, emergency assist, and rest recommendation. So you get the point. A lot of them. Here are the views from the cameras. It will be pretty easy to maneuver the car with all those cameras, you know, at your disposal. This is the, as I said, start engine button. The gear lever for the gear selector, should I say. You have the reverse, neutral, drive, and B. Now the B mode is special mode, brake mode, the mode where the car is braking as soon as you release the throttle, and that way you recuperate the energy. Now I love this, but one thing that I don't like is this gloss black. This will get scratches easily, and as you can see, it's already got a lot of fingerprints, so I'm not a huge fan of that. But I am a fan of this huge storage room underneath this. And actually the car has up to 25 liters of storage room throughout the whole interior. And you will definitely find, a place for all your things. Dual USB-C port, as well as the 12-volt power outlet is here. And this part here, I would love to see a roller here. I don't know, tell me in your comments what are your thoughts. But we do have the adjustable cup holders, so you can put your water, for example, here. And in the middle there is a storage room. You can adjust this and pull it up as well. Definitely practical interior here. Let me show you the glove box, which is also huge, so big thumb up for this. Pencil holder in here, and yeah, well, really practical car indeed. So now I think it's time to check out the infotainment system. And it's a well-known infotainment system that we know from other Audi models. Let me show you this. This is the home layout. You can configure the widgets that you have here. Currently we have the telephone, the media, or should I say the radio actually, and the navigation. But of course this can be configured. Whether you like something else, you can put it. The main screen, main home screen, let's call it like that, with a bunch of stuff. Let's go through some of them. The radio, this is the list of stations, and this is all pretty responsive, so thumb up for that. You also have this sound when you press it. You can turn that off if you don't like it, but personally I think it's a cool one. Telephone, of course, it's possible to pair it with either Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, or Android Auto. The navigation is here, and as you can see we have different views available. This is the satellite view, which is quite cool if you ask me. And let's configure the map settings. So satellite view, you can turn it off, and now we have the classic view. But personally I think that the satellite view is actually a cooler one. The range map, so that you see where can you go with your range and your current battery. Of course, night mode is available as well. Night mode on the satellite screen looks a bit different, satellite view actually. That's why I will put it back to the normal. Now you see this is the classic view, let's call it like that, for the night drive. But let's go back. Those were the settings for the map. You have this shortcuts here all the time. And now we go back to the main menu, phone apps, once again Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and car settings. Now this is where it gets interesting, of course. Here is where you adjust a bunch of settings for your car. First of all, the driving modes, we already covered them. So you have few modes available: charging and efficiency. You can see the amount of battery that you have here, and you also have the info. You can see the current battery and your selected charging target, and you can then adjust it. So this is the charging target, for example, and when you charge it, when you put the car on the charger, you could adjust the target if you don't want to charge it to 100%. And the range mode, well, let's see this, just a second. Range mode helps you to maximize the remaining range by limiting the speed. This can be briefly overridden using the kickdown function. In addition, some of the functions are significantly restricted. This is, for example, when you're driving and you realize that you will have problems to reach your destination with your current range, then you would turn on the range mode. Let's just see this efficiency assist. Here is where you would adjust the recuperation, and you can also turn on the predictive messages. AC controls, well, not much to configure here since we have this very nice layout for the AC and very user friendly. And let's go to lights and vision, where it gets interesting, because when you press the exterior lighting, you can configure the digital light signatures on this model. So look at this. You configure the light signature for your car, for your front lights. This is the design 1, design 2, 3, and 4. My personal favorite is this one, and you just press this confirm, and now we have this signature on the front. I will do a little overlay so that you see how that looks from outside, but really a cool feature, and this is a new trend and definitely something that I think we will see on the other new Audi models. Tell me in your comments what are your thoughts on this and how do you like it. Let us now go back and let's go to background lighting. Here is where you would usually adjust the colors and stuff like that, but this car only has the let's say base ambient lights, which means you only configure the brightness, and here you have the lights themselves. So also on this side here they are in white, but I would suggest going for the ambient light plus package, which would get you the multicolor ambient lighting, which is really cool if you ask me. Parking aid, this is where you would adjust the volume for your sensors and the rear cross traffic alert. Driver assist, we already covered those. You can activate or deactivate those systems, but I would suggest keeping them on for your own safety and of course for the safety of all people in the traffic. The steering wheel button adjustment means that you can give this button here a meaning, let's call it like that. It can be, for example, switch voice guidance on or off, switch off the navigation map color, traffic announcements on or off, and stuff like that. So convenient. Hold assist, you can turn it on or off. Here you have the service intervals. As you can see, this is an EV, which means that next inspection is, well, 2023. Nice one. And other car information are here: chassis number, tire pressure indicator, and you can turn this on if you want to change the wipers. That's pretty much it when we talk about the settings for the car. Now let's go back. You can put favorites here, navigation, telephone, and radio, and the settings for the whole infotainment are here. You can change the language, change the sound, and the general settings, but I'm not gonna go through that. What is interesting is this. So here is where you would change the view on the Audi Virtual Cockpit, and you see we have the Sport and the Classic one. Let's change to Classic. It's a pretty simple and similar one, but this e-tron one is a rather different one. Look at this. Now we have the different layout. Of course, then you configure what you have here on your left, and the views you have in front of you can be changed, of course, in each of these modes. So look at this. Change the view, you have a big navigation screen, and you also change what's inside this. Anyway, a lot to choose from and a lot to play with. Head-up display, let's put it on, and not sure if the camera is catching it. You see it here, and you adjust the height, so let's put it a bit higher. Now you will definitely see it, and the brightness is adjusted to maximum. But yeah, the augmented reality corresponds to a screen of around 40-inch, and it's got the augmented reality, which will be very useful during the drive, for example, in unknown cities. And I tried the augmented reality from Volkswagen Group in the Enyaq, and also I saw it in the ID4, and it's a very good one. So I think this one will be even better, of course, since we have the more premium brand in here. And that's pretty much it when we talk about the settings. You can also adjust the sound settings here. And speaking about sound, we do have the Sonos sound system with 10 speakers. You can also see them on the 8 pillars. And that's it. Some basic stuff and information are here, not gonna go through that. Let's go back to the main menu and see this. Of course, you can pair and configure your calendar and have a bunch of stuff that you need to do here in your car, so that's always convenient. And since this car is connected, you can also check out the weather. You do need to wait a bit, but it will come here just a moment. So now we see it's around 20 degrees outside. Let's see the forecast for the next 7 days. Oh, it's a nice one. Finally some sun. Okay, now you get the point. And well, once again, the views here, as I said, you change the middle by just pressing this. And yeah, this is not bad. You will get used to this very easily. And changing of the views is easy as well. Here is where you slide this for the volume. You change the tracks by just pressing this. This is the voice command, and this is to control your mobile phone. When you press this, you have the settings for the map and map orientation, as well as the map zoom. You can configure the stuff that you have in front of you very easily with this one. But yeah, now that's it. Time to explore the rear bench. But before we do that, let me show you the sun visors, as well as this LED lights. But also this car has the panoramic roof. So what you can do, you can just slide this and it opens. Quite cool. Time to check out the rear bench and how much space we have here. First of all, very good angle of the opening for the doors, and the pattern here similar to the front. This is in leather, nice stitching, and look at this. It's interesting design because you can fit a bottle here. You have the button, of course, for the window, and then this door pocket is also pretty good one. Not too big, but then of course these are the rear doors. But now let's focus on this. So very generous amount of room because we have a long wheelbase, as I already told you, 2.76 meters. So without further ado, let's step inside and see this, because this is really good. You also have some design elements, let's call it like that, so that even taller adults can sit without any problems. I'm 1.87 meters. I still have plenty of room. This is the view on the front. Let me show you how much space I have for my head. And this is it. So I still have some room here, 1.87 meters, but this car has the optional sunroof. Without it, I think I would have even more room. It is now time to open the front bonnet. Of course, it's an electric car, so it will be a bit different here. And we don't have hydraulic struts, so I'll be back with you in a moment. This is the view you have here, but of course, as an EV, the most important parts are underneath there and on the rear axle, or on the front as well. So let me go through the options for this car. There are actually two batteries available, 52 kilowatt-hour and 77 kilowatt-hour. Range is up to 520 kilometers, of course, if you spec it with a larger battery. Speaking about the power options, there is an entry-level 170 horsepower electric motor. The second option is 204 horsepower electric motor at the rear as well. So this model has that layout. And then top of the line version would get 299 horsepower with the quattro all-wheel drive. Then you have the electric motors on both front and the rear axle. Of course, in the description I will put all the options so that you have a better view of what's on offer. And before we end, let me just show you the spec list of the model in our video. So for the e-tron, this 150 kilowatt electric motor, that's 204 horsepower, 310 newton meters of torque. You have the electric motor at the rear axle, 8.5 seconds time to reach 100, and 160 kilometers per hour is the top speed limited, I believe. Geyser blue is the name of this color, and those are the series equipment. And here you have all the additional extras, such as the Audi Drive Select, the augmented reality head-up display, interior in the S line, stuff like that, matrix LEDs, and yeah, a bunch of stuff here. These are the prices. So the base price is here, and I need to press this so that we have a sharper look of what's behind this surface. And this is the price for the version in our video. I will of course put the euro amount on your screen, but tell me in the comments what are your thoughts. And that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching. Do subscribe to the channel in order to see more car reviews, and see you on the next video. Bye bye.